My name is Hannah. I am 26 years old, and this is my story. It is a story about my sister, my older sister, Sarah. For most of my life, I thought she was my best friend. I loved her. I trusted her. But I was wrong. Her jealousy was like a quiet poison. It worked slowly, and it ruined everything. We grew up in a small house with a green garden. Our parents were kind people. They worked hard. They loved us both very much. Or so I thought. Sarah was 2 years older than me. She was always the pretty one, the popular one. She had many friends. She was loud and funny. I was quiet. I liked reading books. I liked sitting in the garden and watching the clouds. We were very different, but we were sisters. I thought that meant something. I thought that bond was strong. When we were little girls, we shared a room. Her side of the room was always messy. My side was always neat. She would borrow my clothes without asking. Sometimes she would lose them. I would get sad, but she would laugh and hug me and say, "Oh, Hannah, it's just a dress. Don't be so serious." And I would forgive her. I always forgave her. She was my big sister. As we got older, the small things became bigger. In high school, if I liked a boy, suddenly Sarah would become interested in him too. She would talk to him, laugh her loud, pretty laugh, and the boy would forget about me. He would only see her. It happened more than once. It hurt. But when I tried to talk to her about it, she would get angry. "I can't help it if they like me more, Hannah," she would say. "You need to be more confident." She made it my fault. And because I was the quiet one, I believed her. Despite these things, I still loved her. I still looked up to her. I thought, her life was exciting. My life felt small and simple. I had a simple dream. I loved to bake. The smell of fresh bread in the kitchen made me happy. The sweet taste of a warm cookie felt like sunshine. My dream was to one day open my own little bakery, a cozy place with a blue door, a place where people could come and feel happy. I told Sarah about my dream. She smiled. "That's a nice little dream, Hannah," she said. The way she said "little" made my big dream feel small. But I ignored the feeling. When I was 23, something wonderful happened. I met Liam. He was kind and gentle. He had warm eyes and a quiet smile. He didn't like loud parties. He liked long walks. He liked talking about books and dreams. He saw me, the real me, the quiet girl who loved to bake. He didn't try to change me. He loved me for who I was. For the first time in my life, I felt truly happy, deeply happy. Liam would come to my small apartment. I would bake for him. He would say my cakes were the best in the world. He encouraged my dream. "You should do it, Hannah," he would say. "You should open your bakery. I will help you." With him, my dream didn't feel small anymore. It felt real. It felt possible. I introduced Liam to my family. My parents loved him. And Sarah. Sarah was very friendly to him, too friendly. She would laugh her loud laugh. She would touch his arm when she talked to him. I felt a familiar, uncomfortable feeling in my stomach, but I pushed it down. I'm being silly, I told myself. She's just being friendly. She's my sister. She would never hurt me. Not with something this important. Not with Liam. Our life was beautiful. Liam and I started making plans. We saved money. We looked at small shops for rent. I spent all my free time creating new recipes. I had a special notebook. I filled it with my ideas, my recipes, for cakes, for bread, for cookies. It was my dream book. It was my future. Sarah was always there, always offering to help. "Let me help you with the business plan, Hannah," she would say. "You're good at baking, but I'm better with numbers." I was grateful. I thought she was being a good sister. I showed her my recipe book. I told her all my ideas. I shared everything. I trusted her completely. That was my biggest mistake. The poison started to work. Slowly. Subtly. Sarah would say small things to me. After Liam left my apartment, she would say, "Are you sure Liam is happy? He seems a bit bored sometimes." Or she would say, "He works so hard. He probably wants a woman who is more exciting, more fun." Her words were like little seeds of doubt. I tried not to let them grow, but they were there, in the back of my mind. Then she started talking to Liam. Alone. She would call him. "Just to check on him," she would say to me. "I know you're busy baking, so I'm just helping." She told me he was worried about me. "Liam says you seem very stressed about the bakery," she said. "He's worried you're not ready for it." This confused me. Liam always seemed so supportive to my face, and to Liam, she was saying different things. I found this out later, much later. She told him I was having doubts about our relationship. She said I felt trapped. She told him I said I wasn't sure if he was the one for me. She was poisoning his mind, too. We were both being manipulated. We were like puppets, and she was pulling the strings. I started to feel a distance growing between me and Liam. He was quieter. He seemed worried. I thought it was because of what Sarah said he felt, that I was stressed. So I tried to be happier, more relaxed. He thought I was distant because of what Sarah said I felt, that I was unsure about him. So he started to pull away, to give me space. We were caught in her web of lies, and we couldn't see it. The day my world broke started like any other day. Liam and I were supposed to have dinner. He called me in the afternoon. His voice was cold, distant. "Hannah, we need to talk," he said. My heart sank. "Can we meet tonight?" I asked, my voice trembling. "No," he said. "I can't. I think we need a break." A break? The words didn't make sense. "Why, Liam?" "What's wrong?" I cried. "I just think—" "We want different things," he said. His voice was flat. "I need some time." And then he hung up. I stood in my kitchen. The phone was still in my hand. I couldn't breathe. My chest hurt. It felt like my heart had been ripped out. I called him back again and again. He didn't answer. I fell to the floor and I cried. I cried for hours. My dream, my future, my love, everything was gone. The first person I called was Sarah. She came over immediately. She held me while I cried. She stroked my hair. "I'm so sorry, Hannah," she whispered. "I never liked him. He didn't deserve you. You're better off without him." She said all the right things. She was the perfect supportive sister. I leaned on her. I trusted her. I told her everything. How much it hurt. How lost I felt. She just held me and listened. The next few weeks were a blur of pain. I couldn't eat. I couldn't sleep. My dream of the bakery felt stupid and pointless without Liam. I put my recipe book away. I stopped looking at shop rentals. All the color had gone from my world. It was all gray. Sarah was there through it all. She cooked for me. She made sure I got out of bed. "You need to focus on something else, Hannah," she said one day. "Let me take care of the bakery plan for a while. You just rest. I'll handle the paperwork. I'll talk to the bank. I don't want you to lose your dream just because of him." I was so broken. I was so grateful. "Really?" I asked. "You would do that for me?" "Of course," she said, smiling her bright smile. "We're sisters." So I gave her everything: my business plan, my notes, the location I had chosen. I gave her the key to my dream, and I went back to sleep. I slept to escape the pain. A month later, I started to feel a little bit stronger. The pain was still there, but it was a dull ache. Now, not a sharp knife. I decided to call Liam. I needed to understand. I needed to see him one last time. I went to his apartment. I knocked on the door. My heart was pounding. He opened the door. He looked surprised to see me. He also looked tired. Sad. "Liam, please," I said. "Just talk to me. What happened?" He sighed. He looked down the hallway of his building. He didn't invite me in. "Hannah, it's over," he said. "Please just accept it." "But why?" I pleaded. "I love you." "You said you felt trapped," he said, his voice full of hurt. "You said you weren't sure about me. Sarah told me." "Sarah?" I interrupted. "What did Sarah tell you?" Before he could answer, a door opened down the hallway. It was Sarah. She was walking out of Liam's apartment. She was wearing one of his shirts. She stopped when she saw me. Her face went pale. The world stopped. Everything went silent. Sarah, Liam, his apartment, his shirt. The pieces clicked into place. The lies, the little comments, the phone calls. It was all a plan. Her plan. "You," I whispered. My voice was hoarse. I looked at Liam. His face was a mask of confusion and shock. He was looking at Sarah, then back at me. I think in that moment, he finally started to see the web too. I looked at my sister, my older sister, the person I trusted most in the world. Her expression changed from shock to something hard, cold. There was no apology in her eyes. There was only victory. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just turned and walked away. My legs felt like they didn't belong to me. I walked down the stairs, out of the building, and into the rain. The cold rain felt like it was washing away the last pieces of the girl I used to be. The naive, trusting girl. She was gone forever. That was the day she took my love. But she wasn't finished. She wanted everything. After that day, I was numb. I felt nothing. It was better than the pain. I didn't speak to Sarah. I didn't speak to Liam. I locked myself in my apartment. I wanted to disappear. My parents called. They were confused. "Hannah, what's going on? Sarah said you had a big fight." Sarah had told them a story. A twisted story where I was the crazy one, the jealous one. She told them I was angry because she and Liam had found comfort with each other after my breakup. She told them I was unstable. A few weeks later, my mother called me. She sounded excited. "Hannah, I have wonderful news. Sarah did it. She got the loan from the bank. She's going to open her bakery." I was silent. I couldn't form words. "Aren't you happy for her?" my mother asked. "She worked so hard on that business plan. She said you helped her a little at the beginning. It's so wonderful that she's making this dream come true. Her bakery, her business plan, her dream. It's my dream." I whispered into the phone. "The recipes are mine. The plan is mine." My mother sighed. "Oh, Hannah, don't be like that. Sarah said you might be jealous. It's a big success for her. You should be supportive. We are a family." They believed her. They believed all her lies. She had not only taken my love and my dream, she had taken my family too. They saw me as the bitter, jealous sister. They saw her as the successful, ambitious daughter. She had taken my voice, my truth. I hung up the phone, and that's when the numbness broke. The pain came back. But this time it was different. It was a cold, hard anger. She had won. She had taken everything. My love, my dream, my family, I had nothing left. The little town felt like a prison. Every street corner held a memory of Liam. Every person who smiled at me might have heard Sarah's lies. 2 weeks later, the bakery opened. It had a blue door, just like in my dream. The name on the sign was Sarah's Sweets. People from the town lined up outside. I saw pictures in the local newspaper. Sarah smiling, cutting a ribbon. My parents stood beside her, looking proud. Liam was there too, in the background, holding a box of cupcakes. My cupcakes. That was my breaking point. I packed a small bag. I took the small amount of money I had in my bank account. I wrote a short note for my parents. "I need to leave. I hope one day you will see the truth." I left it on my bed. I didn't say goodbye. I couldn't. I got on a bus. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I had to get away. Away from her. Away from all the ghosts. As the bus pulled out of the town, I didn't look back. I had nothing to look back to. She had taken it all. The bus ride was long. I watched towns and cities pass by the window. I felt empty, a shell of a person. I was Hannah, but I didn't know who Hannah was anymore. She was a girl who loved a man who betrayed her, a girl who had a dream that was stolen, a girl whose family chose her sister over her. Who was I without all of those things? I got off the bus in a big city. It was loud and crowded. I didn't know anyone. I was completely alone. For the first few days, the fear was overwhelming. I found a small, cheap room to rent. It was tiny, just a bed and a small window. But it was mine. No one could take it. I found a job at a small coffee shop. Not baking, just washing dishes. This work was hard. My hands were always wet and sore. But it was simple. I didn't have to think. I washed dishes. I got paid. I went back to my little room. I ate simple food. I slept. It was a small, quiet, lonely existence. But it was an honest existence. There were no lies. There was no poison. There was no pretending. There was just me. And the quiet. Slowly, very slowly, I started to heal. The anger and the pain started to fade. They were still there, like old scars. But they didn't control me every second of every day. Sometimes when I couldn't sleep, I would think about Sarah. I tried to understand her. Why did she do it? She was always the pretty one, the popular one. She seemed to have everything. But maybe she didn't. Maybe my quiet happiness, my simple love with Liam, my little dream, maybe she saw that as something she couldn't get for herself, so she had to take it from me. Her jealousy wasn't about what I had. It was about what she lacked inside herself. That thought didn't make me forgive her, but it helped me to let go of some of the anger. It wasn't about me. It was about her emptiness. One day, my boss at the coffee shop, a kind older woman named Maria, saw me looking at a cake in the display case. "You like to bake, Hannah?" she asked. I just nodded. I hadn't told anyone about my past. "The girl who bakes for us is leaving next month," she said. "The job is open if you want to try." Fear shot through me. Baking. It was tied to so much pain. To Sarah. To my stolen dream. But then another feeling came. A small spark. The memory of the joy. The smell of cinnamon. The feel of dough in my hands. I can try," I said. The first time I stepped into that kitchen, my hands were shaking. I started with a simple recipe, a lemon cake. I remembered my own recipe from my old notebook, but I didn't make that one. I made a new one. I added a little, more lemon, a different kind of sugar. I made it my own. Again. When the cake came out of the oven, it smelled wonderful. Maria tasted it. Her eyes went wide. "Hannah," she said, "this is a gift. You have a gift." Hearing those words felt like a key turning in a locked door inside my heart. I started baking for the coffee shop every day. I created new things. I didn't use my old notebook. I let the old recipes go. I started a new one. I was building something new. For myself, I made friends. Maria became like a mother to me. The Other people at the coffee shop were kind. They didn't know my story. They just knew me as Hannah, the baker who made amazing cakes. For the first time in a long time, I felt seen for who I was right now, not for who I used to be. My life is quiet now, but it's a good quiet. It's a peaceful quiet. I live in a small, clean apartment. I have filled it with plants. I have my job at the coffee shop. I love it. I am saving money again. Maybe one day I will open a bakery. A tiny place, with a green door this time. Or maybe not. It doesn't matter as much anymore. The joy is in the baking itself, not the business. I never went back to my hometown. I don't speak to my parents or to Sarah. About a year ago, I got a letter from my mother. It was short. She said Sarah's bakery had closed. She said Sarah and Liam broke up. She said they were never really happy. She said she was sorry. She asked me to come home. I read the letter. I felt a small bit of sadness for them, for the mess they had made. But I didn't feel the need to go back. My home was here now. I wrote back a short, kind letter. I told her I had forgiven them, but I couldn't come back. I told her I was happy. And I was. My sister's jealousy tried to ruin my life. For a while it did. She took everything I thought was important, but she couldn't take me. She couldn't take my spirit. She couldn't take my gift. I had to lose everything to find myself. I had to walk through the fire to learn how strong I was. If you are listening to this, and someone has hurt you, someone has betrayed you, I know your pain. It feels like the end of the world, but it is not. You are stronger than you think. Your story is not over. You can rebuild. You can find joy again. It might be a different joy, a quieter joy, but it will be real, and it will be yours. No one can take that from you. Keep going. You can do this.